Hello and welcome to episode 13 of our Total War Attila Let's Play. Now, in the last episode, we began our strike into Armenia at the head of 4 legions, and hopefully we will be able to take, hopefully get Armenia out of the war permanently, and hopefully we can try and seize Armenia for the Romans. Yet it's undecided as to whether we conquer them or whether we vassalize them. Either could be possible. Anyways, so we've got the siege of Duin, which I can't really deal with because I don't have any siege equipment, and I'm going to move Legio 1 slightly closer so we get reinforcements in. Here we are. Now we will begin the siege of Tosp in earnest. I'm going to deploy it. So obviously, we're going to have a lot of reinforcements incoming. So I'm going to deploy the 4th Legion in a position where we can, basically hold out until our reinforcements arrive. So we've got 4 battalions of, or 4 regiments of Lanciari Signores. So let's go ahead and form them up. So we do significantly outnumber our enemy. But they are also deployed in the town, so we must be wary of, we may outnumber them, but in a town environment, it basically acts like a funnel. So our superior force, basically they're engaging only a portion of our army at a time. Deploy a fraction of the spearmen on our right flank. To cover. Yeah, we are to extend our right flank. A unit of armored Sagittarii will support that. And I'll send 2 more units to reinforce the right. I'll leave 1 unit as reserve. Heavy infantry. Heavy infantry, you are to form a column, and we're going to go support the cavalry in earnest. Now I'm going to utilise the Klebinarii and we'll charge them straight into the Persian bows. Now we'll turn these guys around and engage the Latvian scout cavalry. Now those guys have actually been routed, but I am going to pull back these guys. Now let's engage with. Oh dear. That I believe is commander of 4th Legion, so 4th Legion's lost its commander. Now the onagers are nearly in position. Once they are, we can start peppering their lines, such as this. We're going to charge over charge over every available reserve. Well, nearby reserve anyway. Right, they've now been routed. No, they're not. They're broken. Rout them. Right, they're smashed. Now let's go ahead and engage. Form these guys together and launch a charge at the Persian bowmen. Now, you 2 reform your lines. And we are starting to catch up to their missile troops. Now, the reserve line. You have to go ahead and engage the Persian nobles, including the reserves. We have to now engage the Persian nobles, including the archers. Yeah, and the Comas are in now. Let's turn back the infantry. Yeah, and now our Sagittarii are opening fire on their mounted bows. What's the cavalry doing in all of this? I will turn this unit of infantry around and slam into this guy. Oh no, they managed to break free. And we'll occupy this and logistics. Yes. Okay. Right, okay. It's actually the next day when I'm recording this, for some reason that I was experiencing something. Basically, in Minecraft, I was recording these now. I am in the process of, basically, of AFKing one of my farms, so throughout the recording of this, I'm going to be keeping an eye on that, just in case something goes wrong. Anyway, yes, so obviously the Siege of Tosp has been won. Now, so now we only have 2 territories left for Armenia. Now, so Legios 10 and 3 are up there. We've lost the cataphracts in this force, which is concerning, and we've got no cavalry in you to speak of whatsoever. So right, so Legio 5 is racing down there. Which, actually, I'm going to remove that unit of archers, and it'll mean you can respond a bit faster. Legio 6 is to respond to the African rebels, and then as soon as the 2 cavalry forces are done, then we'll rally them, and we'll move this way. Now, the Huns are wreaking havoc over on the Western Empire, so let me see if I can make peace with them. Can I make peace with them? No, I can't. Okay. So, alright then. Let's end the turn, and we'll see if any counter-strokes are made. Obviously, we've got this Sassanid army here, the Forgotten Warriors. But right now, we can't really take advantage of that. I'd love for it, at some point, for us to take Legio 7 and Legio 2, and we go strike into the heart of the Sassanid Empire. But I think at the moment, that's not really a possibility. Illyria wants to make a peace treaty. I will accept this peace on the basis that they can then become a buffer state. Now, what we're going to do is... Now, what we're doing is simply recruiting some people to office. Here we are. Now, let's go ahead and ride down some of these rebels. There we go. There's one. Now, you're going to have to race back east, deal with these rebels, and then march on to Armenia. Now, Legio 6 is to engage these rebels, and you have to ride them down with all force. There we are. And decisive victory. And they're going to withdraw, and we'll charge them down with the cavalry. And there's them routed. Perfect. Now, from here, you are to race back all the way north, back up to Edessa. And at Edessa, we will be forming our strike force. There's basically nothing in the path between us and Ctesiphon. So what we're going to do is I'm going to assemble Legio 2 and Legio 7. I'm going to launch an early strike to take advantage of the weaknesses of the Sassanid Empire. Legio 7, you have to force march all the way up there. It's going to damage your integrity somewhat, but we've got no choice. We need reinforcements there as soon as we can. It is also winter, so what we're going to do is fortify ourselves in. Luckily, we can still conduct operations down here because it's pretty desert down there. Now, what's left? Let's go into here, and we're going to construct a fountain. Yeah, and we'll get some of these other buildings repaired as well. Now, it will take a bit of time before these guys rebel again. Now, let me see. Are we at war with you? We are not. We are at war with you? We are not. Okay. The Arons are wanting peace with us, so I'm going to accept that. We've got 2 choices. Either we siege Arbela, or we march straight onto Ctesiphon. We're going to besiege Arbela. The 2nd Legion is to be there and support. So a mostly cavalry force has chosen to attack our siege works. We have 1,920 men versus their army, 2,800 men. So we are outnumbered, and significantly by the cavalry. But let's see if we can turn the tide of this battle. Right, we've arrived. The reinforcements have arrived. So we've got the 2nd and the 7th legions together. It must be. Even though they have artillery, we must form a square in order. Well, not really a square, but my little square preparation. So that is this. Basically, it's a formation that I have saved up. What it is basically, if my legion, if the 2 legions have to square up, they very can and very quickly. On the flanks, we have 160 cavalry awaiting the order to be sprung. In reserve, we have 2 units of Comes. These guys will respond to the most urgent threat. One of them's got fear, the other one's got recon, which I think, and also it also applies some rallying as well. Like cavalry, you have to go straight for the straight for the artillery. Now the other wing of cavalry, you have to auto launch an attack. You have to stay boxed up. But now the Comes, reform your lines. Equites, you have to change your target. Go for these horse cavalry. I need these guys to be uninterrupted. I need to fear these units now. Now, slam into the infantry sides. I'm indecisive here, but I'm going to crush this first. Break loose. And engage these. Luckily, we've still got the light cavalry. Right, if you can rout them, that'd be great. Now, let's advance the infantry forward. Only 1 unit this way. I need you. You engage here. You break these. We need to engage the center. Right, reform the Clevenarii. Every cavalry unit is to respond to this emergent threat. That is this. This unit is very low on cavalry. And now we slam into them. They're dead, but it's fine. Actually, it isn't him, it was him. And slam into them. Managed to rout these guys, it's just astonishing. See if we can pull you back.
Enemy forces have destroyed an entire unit. Understood.
Right, must respond to this. Yep. Now, we have infantry and we have archers remaining. What we have to do is form a defensive line. We haven't lost. In fact, I think we are pretty much winning. Even though we've lost our general, this is kind of bad, very bad, but we're still fighting. I'm recording Attila, but if I just bring this over to your attention, I had a stack attacker spawn on me, and I had no idea. Which is this, and it's got this little fun texture thing. If I go into here, you'll see this has got nothing to do with Attila. In fact, let me pause it real quick. And like half of you are probably not going to care about this, but now I've got 2. I was gonna say, what the hell? I got my sound turned off and everything because I'm next to something. I may have gained something. So, you know, I don't want it to... Dear me. Anyway, back to Attila. Well, in that, I think we've managed to kind of... so we've managed to extradite ourselves, and now we're back here. Now, you're going to target this, you're going to target this. Plebinari, you had to launch a charge now. Demolish the line. Routed. A Pyrrhic victory indeed. Out of 1,920 men, we lost 1,300, and they lost 1,900. So it was a victory, but unfortunately, they've succeeded in their strategic goal of repelling the two legions. Our forces have been engaged once again, this time by these guys. We're gonna have to try and withdraw. We'll withdraw you. Place the onagers here. And now they've got now they've got Scorpio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy down here in this little fort. Well, I'm going to deploy over this way some of you. Got one man. I'm going to do a standard round for some more accuracy. The cavalry springs its trap. We go straight for these guys now. Now we reinforce them with the second line immediately. Yep. Now these guys are being routed as well. But I'm going to redeploy the archers this way because the spears can hold. It's these two I'm worried about. Right, they're wavering. Now what we're going to do is deploy these guys this way. You get around here and support these guys. Cavalry's come back. It's only 18 horsemen, but 18 horsemen's better than nothing. 18 horsemen, you have to guard the gates. Now we are to slam into these guys' rear. Here we go. Now let's see if we can just get all these guys gone. That was a tense fight. That could have actually gone either way, particularly when the first line of Legio actually started to lose. That was actually quite tricky. We had a fraction of their men, but yeah, we managed to prevail there. I think largely it's because the cavalry chose to attack very early. Okay, so this turn is all about defense or survival, basically. So, firstly, Legio 10, you have to go retake Tosk in earnest. Now, demolish that garrison. Well done. Occupy. Now, what remaining legions do we got? So we have the second legion and we have the 7th. So we're gonna have to withdraw via Ganja. Now you're gonna have to withdraw via here as well. You'll have to do a force march to get clear. Now the idea is you're going to withdraw on Edessa. Both of you are going to withdraw on Edessa, and hopefully you two will get out alive. Now, where are we with the 5th? 5th Legion, I need you to race over and destroy this rebel force as swiftly as you can. Legio 6, you have to respond immediately. We are needing you and your services, like, right now. This army has... So this Sassanid army... Actually, it's the remnants of the other army. Okay, they are trying to snap up the rear guard. So what we're going to do is we are going to deploy. Come on, hold it. Now they're going to rush in. It's not. It's actually the one thing. It's the one. That's actually the one thing that hasn't been failing. Actually, yeah, it hasn't. Look at that. Heroic victory. We lost another general, but Legio 2 still survives. Right, what we had to do is we are going to pull back with our forces. Legio 1 first. Legio 4, you have to take off the siege. Actually, no, you have to keep the siege going because then it allows the rest of my forces to get out. Legio 7, you have to withdraw, and Legio 2, you have to withdraw. There we go. Now we've extradited. Now we'll withdraw the 4th Legion out as well. We've managed to extradite all of our legions out of the way. Now we're going to withdraw the first. We're going to take the 1st Legion to Edessa. The 4th Legion will go to Amida, and then the 2nd and 7th. The 2nd Legion you have to replenish, and you have to circle around to Duin. These guys, I don't think will make it to. These guys aren't going to make it up there in one turn. You can charge the 6th Legion into a Mesa, and then get them across to here, and you can go back to a Mesa and just defend that for now, for the time being. So, I've also reduced down the taxes down just a notch. Who's the most upset? You. Okay. There's really not much I can do about that. Now, let me see. Can I get some of you promoted? I think the idea is going to be is we are going to withdraw our legions. Well, whilst keeping, we will be keeping some of them in the field, obviously. But legions like the 1st and so on, we are going to basically pull them back to Edessa and Almeida, and what we'll do is it will form up a huge army. Since a lot of their forces may be coming up here to engage the strike works in Armenia, our idea is going to be to assemble the 5th, the 6th Legion, the 1st Legion, and possibly the 2nd or 7th, maybe, once they've replenished. And we're going to launch one giant strike at the heart of the Sassanid Empire, with the hope that it will bring them to heel. If it doesn't, well, I'm screwed. But let's just hope. Let's just hope and pray. Now we can attack these rebels, demolish them. And now Legio 5. You're going to take some attrition on the way, but that's okay. You're going to head. We're going to head towards Edessa. And Legio 6, you have to engage, and we'll go ahead and demolish this army, and it'll be the last battle of the episode, I think. The remnants from the cavalry, the original cavalry legion, by the way, which is a far shadow of its former self, but hopefully, veteran. A lot of these men are veterans, so hopefully that will make the difference. Now, let's go ahead and engage. It is a flat. It is flat. It is flat terrain. It is rocky, but it should be more than enough for cavalry to thunder down. Now, they do have artillery, which is going to be an issue.
The enemy approaches.
The enemy approaches. Not the what is it? 800 cavalry. That just stays behind us. Now, actually, to be honest, the Dalmatii actually took the lead, so I guess we're going to attack around the Dalmatii now.
They are trying to take out our general. Defend him.
And we're going to use the gap that's been formed. We're going to launch some fear into them. Now we're going to strike into the rear of you. We're going to attack this. You are going to turn around and slam into the rear of the chieftain's unit. There we go. Promoti, engage those. Supported by a unit of Clibinarii. There we go. And now we're going to utilize the scout equites. You're going to launch yourselves after. Or form up first and then launch yourselves after. You can finish routing the chieftain. That was one decisive charge. That was one decisive charge indeed. There we go. Now, light cavalry. Engage the skirmishers. As for the Glibinari, you will deploy on the hill. Okay. I was actually going to wait for these guys to attack, then we could chase them down and, you know, have one glorious charge, but 86 men lost. 86 men lost in that fight. That was a truly decisive charge. But I think for the initial wave, I think what we'll do actually is I think we'll have the 2 cavalry legions. So the 5th legion, you'll be the supporting arm of the 1st. The 6th legion, you will be the independent arm. That is, basically they'll be the advanced guard. Is what I'm imagining. So in other words, we'll launch the 7th legion in first, and then we'll then we'll do what we need to. As for these guys, you're gonna do that. Yes, we'll keep you as I think we'll keep these guys as 3 units now. 3 units is extremely small, but it's a size of unit or size of army that we're gonna have to rely on. You don't actually need cavalry or archers or anything in these guys. Vimiakim, do you need? You do need the archers, so I will take it from you. That could reduce down the size of your force from 8 down to 6. So that way we're loosening the budget on defense on our Baltic, on this coast, but means we can divert more resources to the east. Legio 7, you're going to go to Ephesus and deal with that. Legio 2, you are to head down here to Alia and support those. Legio 6, you are to head up to Edessa, just outside of Edessa, and you will help you will form up. Legio 10 is a relatively large, decently sized legion, so I'll leave that in Tosp alone, and I will send Legio 4 up to support the 8th Legion. Now, the siege of Duin should be done in a few turns, so that will be excellent. Now, Legio 5, you have also arrived, so now we've got 2 cavalry legions, the 5th and 6th. Lots of cavalry to our name, and we have the 1st Legion as well. So in the next episode, this strike force will be the force that will be struck into the heart of the Sassanid Empire. We are risking everything on one gamble, and if we can bring them, basically, I want to take Ctesiphon, sack it, and then raise it to the ground, so they can never once again challenge the might of Constantinople. But anyway, that must be for next time. Thanks very much for watching, and until next time, I shall bid you guys farewell. Cheerio, bye.